know what? We could listen to some Corpse. You know, Corpse is somebody who I've been thinking about making a video on, but I fucking lagged like I always do with my video concepts, and I was late to it, dude. Now I feel like I'm late to it. But this guy's like a YouTuber. He like talks about like scary stories and shit, but his voice is
if you're
like
new to this
nuts.
and you don't know what Among Us is, it's a game similar to Mafia
Like his
or
voice
Werewolf.
is fucking crazy as far as like like the deep and like the bravado and all that. But he started playing with like PewDiePie. The game Among Us became like popular as fuck, and he became like one of the main guys to like include on all the most popular streams. But what's interesting about him is he makes like music, but he already had like 1 million followers or subscribers on YouTube from making like scary story narrations, like 3 creepy Pokemon ghost stories, like explaining. He just has like the voice for it, so it just kind of made sense. Like it just works. So he was already successful in this other realm, but then if you go back on his Twitter, you're gonna find like him being like, oh, I hope I want to have the courage to make music this year, like talking about 2020. So earlier in the year, before he like blew up to be this like crazy popular YouTuber / just Twitter personality, like the ratio, like he has like 1 million followers probably at this point on Twitter, but he gets like 200,000 likes just like with any tweet almost, and it's a little excessive, it's a little insane. But him making music and having this like fan base and blowing up like organically through like these other means and just like collaborations and the game Among Us, now his music career doesn't necessarily require like a record deal in the same sense that like his songs are getting like 4.1 million views, 4.7 million views, 3 million, 4 million, 2 million. Like, holy shit, you know what I mean? So it's this weird question, and the whole idea of the song or the video I was gonna make was gonna be, this guy really just shows like that record labels only have so much power. Like when SoundCloud existed, it was so cool for the consumer, for us, because we were able to just kind of choose who was the most popular person in the underground in a very like systematic and like organic way. So like if Nav got the most streams, then Nav was like a huge entity on SoundCloud, but that didn't take away from the fact that I could pull up with a microphone and just post a song and potentially see that same love or like capture an audience of my own there. Like it felt very much like every man for himself, and the people will choose who's successful based on like the quality of music or the image, etc. And that goes for pretty much anybody who blew up on that platform. But then once the record labels adjusted with streaming and we're like, well, you still need to get paid, like in a very direct sense. Once they figured out and kind of switched their business model to incorporate like these SoundCloud artists and start signing, then it all rubber band back, and now we're back to a point where you kind of need to just like record labels are just gonna sign you in the most infant, unorganized, basic level of your career, and then just bet. Like they're just placing little bids on every little artist and just betting on the ones that will blow up. Like it's just they're betting on green every time at the roulette table, and then just really loving the fact that they hit it one every 300 times. Like the payout is huge, but it's very like, it's the amount of people that they invest in, only a couple actually pay out what they put in. So when you have someone like Corpse, though, it's like that's basically like putting that same bet on green, and then you know that it's gonna hit green. Like it's 100%. It's the biggest payout on the roulette table, but you know for a fact it's gonna pay out. Like that never happens. It's a 1 out of 36 shot. But in this case, it's pretty much, if anyone who signs Corpse, you're gonna have the easiest time marketing it. You're gonna have a built-in audience to buy his music. It's going to be a successful investment, and that is 100% done in the building. Let's keep it going. And that's where it becomes the argument where it's like, well, Corpse wouldn't need a record label in that case then. Like this song has 10 million fucking plays just on the YouTube stream. Like, and it's on Spotify and it's on Apple Music. And this is in theory just all going to Corpse, unless there is already a record label involved. Well, this song has features, so maybe there's like, you know, deals in that back end. But and that's the song that really went viral on TikTok as well. So that makes sense. But does he need a record label? No. Could he use a record label's like connections to distribution and all that? Yeah, I think that would make it easier to distribute content and merch and just ideas and products and all of that to these 10 million people. I think obviously a company or record label makes the most sense and would easily like catapult the whole business operation to a different degree. But does the record label really understand Corpse's music? I don't know. Maybe some would. But if you're a record label and you go to Corpse and you're like, yo, we're going to give you a deal, but we want to control you, you're an idiot, because this guy did this pretty organic. Like, it's all built into this just internet aura of who Corpse is as a meme, who Corpse is as an entity. He's faceless. No one knows what he looks like. So that's another thing where it's like, ooh. He posted a picture of his hand, like this fucking one, a picture of his hand, and it like was like the most fucking trending thing on Twitter that night. I don't know, man. All I'm saying is that there's something to be said for if someone who can make music and be also already like kind of established and have a core foundation of a fan base from a different, completely other category of the internet. If those people then just started making music and it's good, I feel like a record label is almost stupid because you have a built-in fan base. You just have to hone them and talk to them and make something that appeals to them. And with Corpse making scary YouTube videos, for his music to sound like this and look like this and be contributed like this, I mean, it works. It's just like a match made in heaven. Like, the audience is there. You don't need anybody unless you're just talking about getting CDs into Best Buy. Then I guess I understand, or like getting a big feature, but I don't know, it doesn't ring that way. But Corpse is just this anomaly that I think all record labels are just looking at like, what the fuck is happening, and how didn't we have a piece of this, and how can we avoid this being something that just exists in the future? Like Jake Paul making music, yeah, that's cool. Most of the time it's just meme music, but Jake Paul's new music, I mean, the last couple of videos that I've seen are like actually, you know, they're decent sounding rap songs. At least they have like a hook and like a couple, you know, decently slapped together verses, but they're clearly written by actual rappers and people who understand like song structure. And, you know, that is something that makes sense. But no shit, Jake Paul's gonna have X amount of views on any video. So I don't know if him putting in the extra effort to make these songs better really is talking to anything, because at the end of the day, the audience that he's talking to is never going to be that core hip-hop audience. That's not his built-in audience. But Corpse making scary songs to couple with his scary videos and scary persona, it just kind of like bakes in this whole audience of just like, hey, I have so many different things to give you as like content and products and like different tendrils of like this ever-growing tree that is Corpse. And if you're a big business side of person and you're looking at him, it's like, how can you stop him? You really can't. Like, I don't know what you can offer him other than just a shit ton of money just to own his persona. But if you offer him a shit ton of money, I don't know if the same like pizzazz and like drive to create would be there. I don't know. What am I saying at this point? I'm just rambling, but let's check out some Corpse music.
Think you problem solver, well I fucking roll the dice. Feeling pretty pent up when I'm swerving through the night. Got a million bitches and they tryna hit my line, and I really wanna hit them. I ain't got no fucking time. Yeah, these stupid pussy bitches finna switch up on a dime. Whether cash, whether women, they all fucking lose their mind. I just want some loyal brothers making money, tryna grind. But y'all just wanna talk, man, that shit's so hard to find. Keep playing pretend, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you want. I don't give a fuck what you need. I don't give a fuck if you like who you think I am. I don't give a fuck if you like this. Fucking drop what I want. They want that hype shit. When you hear this, you upset. This ain't a party track. You go and play out with your friends. Yeah, I got some fucking problems. We all fucked in the end. When they fucking want me happy, I ain't fucking play pretend. Couple things I regret. Got some rubber on my neck. They all fucking with me now. They ain't fucking with me now. Every day I repeat fucking what they shit did. Every day that I'm awake, I'm
So it's clearly like this is not any genre of music that's ever like that is new necessarily. Like you think of Gizmo or Ghost Main, like there's a bunch of people out there. There's a whole hardcore rap genre that is full of people who make this style of music. But you'd be remiss to find a lot of them hitting these kind of levels of plays without a label being involved. And it's just it's scary. It's like you don't need it, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's not scary. It's one of those things where you get so numb to just who's this new artist, and then you look it up and it's like, oh, they've been signed for 4 years and they've been given a chance. Like, you know what I mean? They've been just a part of this whole system. And while we get good music like Ian Dior and all these great other things, it still comes down to the fact that it doesn't seem organic. It seems like it's very all calculated at the same time. Whereas like SoundCloud, again, going back to it as a counterpoint, always felt very cool because it always sounded like someone was just in their bedroom just screaming out their feelings. And, you know, there's something to be said for both. But yeah, this is just a little thought process, a little thinking exercise for you guys.
Make a stack, Pepe laugh, got all of these bitches, man, she suck me in, I do not give up bands, I feel like Twitch staff, clip that, ay, this bitch finna give me whiplash, took my fucking breath away, I'm finna take that shit back, bitch, you capping me, you big mad, I'm just fucking trapping, getting cat girls in some big bands, pull up constant havoc, jacks but dicey, how I whip that, make more than your dad, but I know you wouldn't get that, messed up, got me looking like no face, make it rain, leave it wet like a snowflake, give me space, she like, no way, that's a red flag, bitch, Olay, that's up, got me looking like no face, make it rain, leave it wet like a snowflake, give me space, she like, no way, that's a red flag, bitch, Olay, fine last, nice ass, cat ears and Shibu, fuck around, do shadow puppets, back of the Subaru, I got jet black nails and a better bitch than you do, only want me cause I'm sad, bitch, I ain't afraid to lose you, she always got her collar on, she always fucking calling me, what she call me, sucker for, don't call me that, I'm not a weep, she like the way I look at her, she like that I am hard to please, I cannot fucking help it, bro, these cat girls always fall for me, they all try to fix me, bucket switch up like a blade on me, got a handcuff, put chains on me, bitch, I don't give a fuck, do not try to change me.
So the most, I think, important thing to also note is the music is good, and that is like a key component, obviously. Like, it's good music. He's good at what he does. He should be making music. So obviously he's going to be able to capture both just music fans and the built-in audience that I was talking about. But where the fandom and standom come in, he is working with a higher advantage with all the things that I've listed and just the aura that is Corpse. And as far as standom goes in hip hop, that is where you see the most success, and that is where you see the most just revenue, I guess is the best way to say it. Like what's it called? NF. When NF beat Chance the Rapper in album sales, and it was all because NF was selling some sweet sweatshirts, you know what I mean? And like his merch was really well done and he marketed it properly. That was through standom. I don't think anyone's here to say that NF is better or bigger than Chance the Rapper. But when you're talking about album sales, it's about who can capture their own individual market and who can actually capitalize on the loopholes that I guess Billboard would allow you to do in those cases. But just standom is what gives NF the edge over the Chance the Rapper. Even though Chance the Rapper's standom and fandom all are large in themselves. But there's something to be said about that. Like, Corpse is good. Corpse is good. He can make the best songs that Corpse will ever make could have already been made, and he's fine because the standom is strong with this motherfucker. It's strong. But again, music is good, and that's the most important thing.
You hate me, but you love me low-key. Wanna date me when you fuck me, touch me with the lights off and my chains on. Baby, I'm not the right one, you should wait like I'm GARRETT. Girl, you fucking with a wrong one. Fuck his team, fuck your clique, bitch, I'm on one. Fuck your stream, fuck your clip, you ain't saw one. Got your bitch on my dick like she want one.
Got Savage on this. Savage Gasp.
Looking, she got death, no dead, so split dot chain cold. Think I fell in love, and she said grab me by the neck, dog, all through the night. Colder than ice, man, I swear to God, girls finna fuck up my life. That wing fly like the moon in the sky. She just looking through my soul with them Shinigami eyes. Coke in my nose and a blade on her thigh. Man, I think this girl is really trying to plan my demise. It's the pumpkin patch king with a corpse with the ring, and she fucked my best friend if I die here today.
Choke me like you hate me, but you love me low-key. Wanna date me when you fuck me. Touch me with the lights off and my chains on. Baby, I'm not the right one, you should wait on.
So it's very short too. All these songs are like 2 minutes long, but the replayability, the way people will loop them, again, the stand-em is very strong with this guy. And I think any record label who would throw offers to Corpse is kind of is smart. I mean, you're gonna make your money back, but I think there's no real like leverage that you have. There's not too much that you bring to the table. You're not getting Corpse's masters, and that's what's beautiful, because so much that young independent artists who aren't YouTubers and aren't like in this position of like popularity and virality, they don't have any leverage, and they're signing away their masters in a second. But it's cool to see that someone is able to kind of come in through the mold and break it from a different angle that we haven't necessarily seen before. So shout out to Corpse. Everything he's doing is cool. No negativity was meant by this little rant or thought process or thinking experiment that we just did. But I do appreciate you guys for tuning in and bearing through that. Shout out to you, Corpse. Keep making the good music that you are. Fuck yeah.